Fairly active weather shaping up for us. I've been watching a tornado warning that was near Tulsa. That line segment is moving east. It looks like it gets into northwest Arkansas somewhere around 7 or 8 o'clock for Bentonville, Rogers, and Fayetteville. The southern extent of the line is somewhat in question. I'll show you that, but we will get storms. We're seeing storms now. We had some around Waldron. Actually, still have some that are ongoing out around Scott County. Right now, we have heavy traffic moving up and down I-49. Had some showers that moved through earlier. No big deal with those. Just some heavy rainfall. Temperatures outside have been warm today. That wind has been very warm as well. Let's get right over to radar and show you what this looks like. Actually, let's go big picture first. You can get a big view of what's taking place here. You can see the line of showers and storms on the cold front that's moving to the west. So the cold front is located right through here, and it's dropping southeast fairly slowly. I think later on tonight, that front probably stalls out somewhere in this area here with some showers and storms bubbling along it. What's interesting, though, is after the front stalls out, another system will move right across the front tomorrow mid-morning. That's going to cause some widespread showers and storms, some severe, a little unconventional timing. It'll be more towards the mid-morning hours from the morning drive up until lunchtime. We may have some fairly large hail with that. So this is the big picture setup. That little red flashing box there is the tornado warning just east of Claremore, headed east at about 30 miles an hour. That puts that storm in Benton County somewhere close to 8 o'clock, maybe just shy of 8 o'clock. You've got all weather hazards with this, the possibility of not only severe thunderstorm winds over 60 miles an hour, but the possibility of very large hail as well as the front makes its way in. The front moves in, but it just stalls, and that's what's going to lead to several rounds of rain, several rounds of potentially even severe weather with this. Farther to the south, we've had a couple of isolated storms develop. You got a thunderstorm here that's out towards Waldron, moving into the Boonville as well as the Magazine area. Looking at the velocity on this, I'm not seeing any rotation or anything to be concerned about as far as any tornadoes go with that particular cell. But back to the west, this is the one that could possibly bring us some rotation as it moves in. It's the one that's spinning now. Matter of fact, let me go back over to radar. I'll show you where this is currently spinning the strongest. This thunderstorm's tracking to the north or to the east, northeast, out around Claremore. I'll get to the latest frame on it. So here we are. This is where the current storm is located. I'll turn on the velocity so you can see where the wind is spinning here. You had some rotation here just west of Pryor. That's what they issued the warning on. I believe it was a bit stronger. Yeah, a lot stronger out here west of Choteau. Matter of fact, let's see here. That thing ever touched down? Let's look. Doesn't look like. Of course, I'm looking from a radar source, which is a little farther off, so debris would have to be really high up for this radar to pick it up. But it has thrown out some large hail. Inch and a half size hail, that's quarter size. 2-inch hail, that's approaching golf ball size to hen egg size here out around Sapulpa. And you're looking at some very large hail here just to the uh, east of Glenpool and Broken Arrow. So this storm has had a history of producing large hail. I think it's going to continue to do so. The reason I think it's going to be close to our area at about 8, it's moving east at about 30 miles an hour, and it's roughly from Bentonville, the leading edge of that rainfall is about 55 miles to the west. So you're looking at it just under 2 hours. We're 5:55 now, so you're talking 7:45 to 8 o'clock for these storms in Benton County. For Fayetteville, it's probably going to be a little after 8. For Fort Smith, it could be even later than that. As that front sags towards the south. Looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning just got issued on that storm in Waldron. This severe thunderstorm warning for hail. Here's a closer look at it. That's the storm out over Waldron that's tracking towards the east. Don't see much in the way of any strong rotation in that storm, although on that last frame, if you look real close out over Cawthron, there's a little bit located right in there. Back it up here. Yeah, it's intensified a little bit in the last couple frames. Actually, it was severe, and then it's fallen off. So that's the storm in Waldron. Let me go back to the big picture view, and then I'll show you what's going to happen next here for the next couple of hours. So that line of storms is going to be tracking east. It makes its way in and then stalls out. As it stalls out, you're looking at the potential for repeated rounds of rainfall into the overnight and into the day for tomorrow. Now, as far as how this plays out, let me show you the model data for the nighttime hours, and then we head into the day coming up for tomorrow. So here's where we are now. The front's to the west, starting to move in. You got some showers out ahead of the front. The front gets into northwest Arkansas this evening. You can see those showers and storms. Again, this is about 7 o'clock, this is 8. So that timeline matches up with the model data, about 7, 8 o'clock. Look how the front fades farther south. The instability is a lot higher to the north. And you get another round of showers and storms that develops somewhere close to about midnight or 1. That one also fades as it moves towards Fort Smith and then farther to the south. So you get this initial line, and then you get another push that fades. The southern extent is still questionable. I think you get more rain tonight in northwest Arkansas and Bentonville and Rogers, Springdale, and Fayetteville than you will from Fort Smith down through Greenwood. Of course, we did have some storms that moved through earlier. So this is tonight, this evening, and overnight, right? Let's look at tomorrow morning. If you go into the morning, look at these storms that pop up here right around 6 o'clock in the morning and 7. They're moving along that front. That's a pretty nasty little line there, isn't it? That thing comes through about 9 or 10 in the morning and moves to the east. And then we get more storms which redevelop behind that by tomorrow afternoon and evening. Some of those storms could also be strong. A little bit of a pause into Thursday, and then more storms will develop with another front that's headed for the area later in the week. So overall, this rainy pattern that we're in is going to continue. And unfortunately, I think with each of these rounds of rain, we're going to have the potential for some severe thunderstorms. I'm going to keep an eye on that line. I'll probably jump on that line later on this evening as it makes its way into the area. So far, so good for us. We haven't had much in the way of big severe weather reports. But as the cold front moves in, things could still be active in a very unstable environment. And really now through goodness, probably even Memorial Day, we'll have repeated rounds of rainfall, some during the overnight, like tomorrow. Some could be mid-morning. We'll have some in the afternoon and evening. I think the bottom line is have the umbrella on standby. You'll need that umbrella with these scattered showers and storms, which are going to be likely for us here as we move into the next several days for us, and rain totals will be high as well. Rain totals could be in excess of 2 or 3 inches. Oh, I wanted to show you the severe outlook for tomorrow. The severe outlook does have us in an enhanced risk tomorrow. That's for very large hail as well as gusty winds. The tornado threat isn't the absolute highest with this. It is there, but it's not the highest. Hail followed by wind are the two main threats with that line of storms that's going to be moving through tomorrow as well as for tonight. But as I mentioned, we had some tornadoes, at least some tornado warnings that happened earlier this evening that were out there near Tulsa, and that's still going to be a possibility as that line approaches northwest Arkansas again, about 7 or 8 o'clock, getting into Siloam Springs, Bentonville, Fayetteville, Lowell, Rogers. P Ridge, you'll see these storms in Springdale. We'll have that whole line sweep through. It'll fade as it moves south towards Fort Smith, and then we'll get another round of storms along that line sometime around midnight later tonight. Once that low level jet stream kicks in, that'll reactivate that line a bit. But again, I don't think it's not going to rip roar through the entire state going south. It will fade as it makes its way across the Ozarks and moves south into a somewhat more stable environment, or at least a capping inversion that's a little stronger, that should suppress some storm activity as they move towards the south. So that's the situation right now. We'll keep an eye on it this evening for you, and we'll talk a little bit more as that line starts to make its way on in.